Welcome back to the podcast. These guys again, which I probably don't need to say as you've clicked on the link. But I am Craig Stewart, but enough about me. I am just the salad in this steak dinner that is the Granite City Comic Con special. How are you guys?
Great. Awesome. Fantastic.
Yep. We got Chris, we got Colin, and Morgan joined us this time.
Yay!
The receptionist.
Yeah. That's right, yeah.
Damn
it, he watched the last one. We're so screwed.
It's been about a month almost since the actual convention. And do you guys want to say anything about how you thought it went? Like, first of all, the turnout was well beyond what anyone could have.
Yeah, I couldn't get in. But no, it was absolutely fantastic. The reception we got was great. They obviously never ever envisaged something like that, did we?
No, not at all.
The crowds were just awesome. Remember the first 2 hours of the con, it was just like sort of every now and again you just have a peek outside the door and go, oh no. But yeah, no, it was really, really good. I mean,
and on top of, I mean, obviously there was the queuing and stuff, but the while the queuing was happening, you know, the atmosphere within the building and out with the building was really great. People were getting along. There was no trouble. I mean, and we had sort of our cosplay pals were going up and down the queue entertaining people and stuff. So we tried to do as much as we can for the people that were waiting, passing out water and sweeties and whatever. But the atmosphere was incredible. It just really, I mean, it really felt like being sort of at ground zero of a new community in Aberdeen. And we've had a lot of messages and stuff from people after the event saying, you know, I went there by myself and now I have 20 friends who are all into cosplay or comics or whatever.
It made a huge difference to us as well, seeing that sort of response. I mean, the first thing I suppose is a massive thank you to everyone who came along.
Absolutely,
and especially the folk that couldn't hang around, that had small kids and stuff like that. I understand that the queue was massive, you know, but you know that if we could have done it, you know, like rammed everybody into there, we would have, but yeah,
and they wouldn't have enjoyed it if we did, and that's the thing. We managed it really as well as we could, and we did the best we could. And I think the queue's become infamous now in Aberdeen. I know, it's the great queue of 2050.
That's it. Yeah. We were already toying with the ideas like, what's the next T-shirt run going to be? Is that I queued? You know, I was there or something. You know.
Yeah, but I was saying before, I was like, you could. It's like. It's like the best queue simulator anyone could have experienced. You're really getting your money's worth out of this queue.
Yeah.
But I mean, we everyone that stayed in the queue got in. We stayed open for an extra hour, and when that last guy walked through the door, and the cheer that went up when
it was like the Empire Strikes Back, the first transport is away.
No, it was great. And, you know, it's testament to the people of Aberdeen as well that, you know, there was that atmosphere and everyone was getting along and loads of new friends and relationships were made and stuff. And it's kind of really inspiring for us to go on and do something bigger and bolder and better next year.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was, I mean, God, my parents were there earlier on in the morning and they were just astounded. They've never, I mean, obviously they know I'm into comics and I do these sorts of things and stuff. But
you don't think so?
But they were like, you know, everyone's so nice. I mean, the Wonder Woman's over there and she's really nice. And then there's so-and-so and he's really nice as well. And
you're just like, Mum, that's not Wonder Woman.
The guy. I mean, every single person that came in there, I can't fault anyone who came in through the doors. I mean, I must admit, we were sort of head down, sort of, you know, getting things done and such like.
I was going to say the amount of times I saw you, and I was like, "It's going to be okay, Chris. it's going to be
alone.
Okay.
Leave me alone."
And the thing is, we went out and walked the queue pretty much every hour. Excuse me, an hour and walked in. Chris and I gone out a couple of times, and it was great. You know, speaking to people out there, and they were yapping to us, and they were explaining to them what's going on, and they were like, "That's all right, we'll wait. It's cool. You know, we can get in eventually." And that was awesome. You know, and we met people as well. They're friends now. I suppose we class as friends now from it as well. So it's been a great experience for everyone.
Yeah, as far as how you said, like the community thing is a really poignant thing about this because, like you said, it was just all these people coming together, and you you couldn't have like who could have expected that many people to show up
Totally.
and all interested in different things, but it's overlapping because this is a convention about all of that.
Yeah.
And it was just, you know, it's a great, and like you said, there was a buzz about the day. There was a great vibe just to the whole place.
Well, we backed up traffic in King Street as well. Just ace.
Yeah.
And
We did this.
and you know, that reflected really well on sort of how the guests reacted as well. Paul
And
Blake
vendors as
and,
well, yeah.
I mean, the vendors. I mean, how many of our vendors sold out?
Wow,
I
yeah.
mean, that's spectacular. I mean, loads of sellouts. Not personal sellouts, sellout merchandise.
Not yet,
You
anyway.
sell out every day.
But I mean, at one point, one guy who was Gary Robertson's his name. He does a lot of fan art, like paintings and stuff. He posted on his Facebook halfway through the day, "Does anyone want to buy a suitcase?" Because he'd sold everything. You know, that was the last thing he had. He just picture of a suitcase. Does anyone want to buy this?
That's him and his other half, they don't drive, so they took public transport up.
Yeah.
Like, I think we're going to actually have to take some friends with us because we took as much as we could carry.
Yeah.
And he said he went home with a carrier bag. He was like, I've just got this left now.
Yeah.
So
When
it's
with
like,
with the word of mouth, you're not really going to have to look. It's you know, you're providing a service to a degree as well, because they've seen how potential business could be at a future convention.
Yeah,
Just-
I mean, it stands us in good stead for next year, certainly. And if any, yeah, I mean, people who go to conventions and fans and the punters, I guess, they all talk about talk amongst each other, but more so vendors. People who and small press, people who make their own books or their own product for these sorts of events, they talk. And
well, this is it's their livelihood.
Yeah.
This is their lives. You know,
and it's nice to think that, you know, we made an event where people have been financially successful at, in terms of being a vendor and whatever, and you know, they'll tell their pals who'll tell their pals who'll tell their pals.
Yeah.
Well,
and
that's it. It's not even. It obviously it helps with us as well, but it helps with the community, the sort of creator community as well, and guys who are selling things as well. It helps the industry sort of like become more stable as well. If we can sort of get that sort of response in Aberdeen and allow these guys to put something else in their calendar and allow these guys to carry on doing what they love and producing the really good stuff that they have. You know, it's great for us because we know that we're aiding them in a way that, you know, that sort of pushes on the sort of genre that we're really interested in as well. So
yeah, no, it was
it was all right.
no, it was all right. Yeah, again, like
come see, come see.
I wanted to say, guys, was just thanks, because I'd never been to a Comic-Con before.
really okay.
Yeah. It's my first ever one.
I'm sorry.
But it was absolutely awesome. And like one of the best days I've ever had in a long time. It was
Brilliant.
No, good.
And,
Glad you enjoyed it.
The after party was hilarious.
Yes, it was. Yeah,
It was absolutely brilliant. Well, I know. I saw you two. Did I see you?
I didn't make it, no. I have a young family and
There
I had to get
lots-
home with children and it just wasn't working.
But it was pretty awesome.
to be honest,
I saw the photos, it looked good. And
Yeah.
I got a couple of messages later on from folk and it looked, next year.
Did they make sense?
No. Okay. Never did.
I have little recollection of the after party other than dancing to Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
And going, yes, when Shake It Off came on.
That's unofficially our song anyway. Haters are going to hate.
Well, I think it was when they started playing the music from Labyrinth. I thought it was absolutely awesome.
Yeah, totally.
I think I stood up in the back. Five people around me didn't know what the hell I was standing up for. How do you not know the song? It's amazing.
Genuinely don't. I mean, we tried DJs after DJ after DJ to get that for that night, and one thing and another, we had like 2-3 cancellations in DJs before that, and it was actually Gav, the guy that runs downstairs, jumped in and was
Said,
like,
I'll just do it then.
"I'll do it." And you know what?
It was ace.
It was ace. He was probably would have been the best choice anyway. So
when it's stuck on, you've got the touch from the from the best Transformers film.
Yeah.
The place just exploded. It was awesome.
Lionel was really loving that as well. Actually,
Oh, God, yeah,
there was a full, like,
I saw
about
him full
6'5" Lionel in there. Like, but yeah, the heat in that place was unbelievable, and it was just like this melted Lionel by the end of the night. He was just dripping down off of himself. It was
And obviously, major shout out to Darth Elvis as well. They were awesome.
they were brilliant.
Yeah,
Like I say, I've never
really.
seen them before either.
Yeah.
So, and there's something amazing about being in a. I've never felt so comfortable in a nightclub environment in my entire life.
Yeah.
I have to be
Wow,
honest.
that's-
Okay.
that's
like,
cool.
just like, you know, but just like sitting there and hearing, you know, Star Wars theme being played by guitar, and everyone, it was brilliant. It was
The whole day became sort of a surreal experience. there was a moment where my dad was stood outside with Alan Grant smoking cigarettes, just moaning about the Aberdonian weather and how 1 minute it was sunny and 1 minute it was raining. And and my brother was there as well, and I said to my brother, I was like, I really wish I'd gotten a photograph of that. Like my dad and Alan Grant just going, it's a bit wee out here, is it? You know?
He was like a rock star, Alan Grant, wasn't he?
Oh, totally.
It was when you appeared in the corridor and was like, oh yeah, do you want to interview Alan Grant? And I was like, yes. I didn't. When you said, I didn't think he was going to be behind you at the time. I was like, yes, please. It was so surreal, but no, it was absolutely awesome. I mean, there was a point where we were watching the cosplay through the window, and we turned around and you couldn't move. Yeah. So how did the cosplay go?
The cosplay was fantastic. The sheer quantity of people was like, obviously it was like we were going to be having the cosplay a little bit later on, but the sheer quantity of people hanging around waiting for the cosplay competition meant that nobody else could get in, which was a bit of an issue when you've got a couple of thousand people standing outside the venue. So we did what we could. Myself and Sorenzo, Tom, I should stop calling him by his business name, but myself and Tom went outside and sort of ran the queue and sort of went along the queue and sort of picked out as many of the good cosplay costumes as we could from outside, just to try and get them into the venue to make everyone see them and such like and give them a chance. But they were, I mean, some of the things we thought we'd seen it all by the time we were ready to do the cosplay competition, and we went outside. And some of the folk that we pulled out of that queue, you know, the World of Warcraft folk.
They were. That was impressive.
The
Exactly.
Space Marine dude was amazing.
He was wearing stilts and he had to bail out. Unfortunately,
make it in,
he said
because he couldn't get in.
No,
he's wearing stilts.
His feet were bleeding. Got to the stage where his stilts were rubbing because he stood in the queue. He joined the back of the queue when it was right up at the beach.
Holy crap!
And he was in it for about 2.5-3 hours, and he just said that he not used to wearing stilts, didn't get in, unfortunately. It was a real shame. There's a fantastic video of him dancing though.
Yeah, so that's great.
Possibly to Taylor Swift as well. So but yeah, no, the cosplay competition was fantastic. Everyone really took part in it. We would have loved to have it a bit longer, maybe like, you know, a bit more sort of stage show and stuff like that on it as well, but the sheer quantity of people I think we had,
and the quality as well.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, I wasn't particularly involved in the cosplay side of things throughout the day, but just noticing the real high end cosplay, like the Apocalypse guy, the Ronan the Accuser,
that was
Iron Man,
Shredder, Iron Man, and it was like, whoa.
That was it. We've spoken about Shredder just before this as well, but I mean, it's like that chainmail that Shredder was wearing. He handmade that chainmail. He had 25,000 links of metal that he personally sat there with two pairs of needle nose pliers and linked them together and joined them over the course of 5 years.
That's crazy.
And that was just what he was wearing underneath his Shredder costume, you know, never mind anything else.
It's nuts.
Favorite cosplay?
That's a good one. Yeah.
Just, and I have to say this, but it was one of the Deadpools just out of the
real military guy.
The movie kind of Ryan Reynolds looking
the guys
one.
were like outside.
I was walking along the queue speaking to folk, and he was walking around his hand grenade, just tossing it in the air and catching it, and he dropped it at one point and looked at it and ran away. Well, and I was like, it was because the whole persona he had.
He was in character,
but he was in character. He was doing it, and he was entertaining everyone in that queue.
Yeah. Well, we when I was outside actually, when we were picking folk out of the queue, we actually picked those two guys. We sort of saw the two guys that were together, and the way that they were interacting with each other, they were doing a sort of like obviously they were like mirroring each other, doing a bit of a sort of like mimicking of each other and stuff like that on the outside. And so we went up and gave them tickets, and they basically just went, you're all right, we're having fun out here, it's all good. And they just went back and sort of carried on the queue again, you know. So they were great.
That's really sad, actually.
Yeah.
My favourite, I think I would go for the Apocalypse guy. I thought he was great. Yeah,
I did like him as well. Yeah.
Apocalypse or Ronin. The one of the videos that went up afterwards, where I think it was Lemmy, our kind of resident judge guy, and my little brother went up the queue, and they picked out Ronan and got him together with Gamora, who was slightly ahead of him.
That was her first ever cosplay. She's never cosplayed before,
and she was
Gamora.
really good.
She was fantastic.
And they were like trying to prompt them to do bits from the film, and the girl was just not having it. She was like, "I'm not doing this," and like, you know, Ronan's there. "You have failed me," and she's like, "Sorry."
Who won each of the prizes?
Well, the best cosplay prize was Little Link. It was
the best wee cosplay.
That was the best wee cosplay. Sorry, yeah.
So
that was like a wee girl. I can't even remember her name now as well. But her mum's on the on one of the group pages that we've set up afterwards. And she was just awesome. She really got into it, and she was doing the stances and stuff like that as well. She had quite a wee elfy
She had
sort
quite
of
a pixie face anyway,
face and stuff like that. She just really suited the cosplay as well. And I think Sorenzo pretty much had picked her out from like well early on as well as being one of the finalists for that. The other one, I have to shout out to the wee guy called Logan James.
Oh, the little boy in the
little boy in the
he was
Wolverine
amazing.
costume. Okay, it was a store-bought Wolverine costume, but
He was living it though.
But he was like baby Wolverine. Like, you know, he was just like, every time you shouted Logan, he turned down and went, you know, and he really was hamming it up big time. And he must have been, what, 3, 4 years, if that, you know.
He looked like he was totally loving it.
Oh, he definitely did, yeah. He was centre of attention for a lot of the time, and he thought it was great. But the group cosplay.
That was
Emma and Robert.
Yeah,
that was was Halo.
Oh, Cortana and Master Chief.
Cortana and Master Chief. We were actually quite good friends of ours as well, so I'm quite glad I didn't judge the. You know, Sorenzo was judging them. Definitely would be picking up issues there. They were really good. That was a full Pepakura sort of cardboard made costume that was covered in resin. He made it all by hand himself, and the undersuit and everything as well. And the Lassie bought a morph suit and painted it all up by hand and everything like that as well. So a lot of work had gone into those and a lot of maintenance. So that really caught Sorenzo's eye, because he's obviously a prop builder as well.
Of course, yeah.
And then the best cosplay was one of the World of Warcraft characters. There was two that were really close. There was one lassie who was really colourful, and she had made that entire thing out of paper mache. And PVA glue,
and it survived the rain.
It survived all the rainstorms outside as well. We pulled her out the queue. She was about 30 yards from the front of the queue when we got her. So she's been outside all day in a paper mache costume, and it survived in the rain, which is amazing. And but sadly, she was a bit of a runner-up on that one, because there was another lassie who was there who had a World of Warcraft. I cannot remember their characters. I'm really sorry, everyone. But
one with the white hair, was it?
That was her. Yeah.
White hair and sort of blue armor.
That was it. Yeah, I think she was like a female version of one of the main protagonists in the Lich King. The shoulder pauldrons and stuff like that as well.
It was an awesome outfit.
The detail she had on them. If you got really up close and had a chance to have a look at it, it was really.
It was the
really
skulls
good.
in her armor.
Exactly.
They were cool.
Yeah. I mean, the actual each individual bit. The attention to detail was fantastic on it, so it was a really fitting win on that one.
Definitely.
I think one thing definitely out of all that, all the people that won it and all the people that entered it, the amount of Facebook pages they've created now for their cosplay groups. It's like we've got the forum page we kind of manage on Facebook with Sorenzo, and suddenly there's all these people just appearing with pages. Oh, come like my page, and they were all folk that entered the competition. It's been great to see that kind of.
It gets back to that community thing, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And there was one more prize as well, the judges' prize. Judges' prize,
of course.
which was a Sorenzo prop sword, the Adventure Time sword, and that was our man Ron's, as it were. He was he should have actually won a prize for having the most comments on his post on the Facebook page. He was like, "Is anyone going in costume?" 5,000 comments later, you know. It was like, but he built a scratch built foam Iron Man Mark 1.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive.
That was really good. It was really nicely made, and you know he boosted the community so well on the way up.
The progress as well of that over the year. He'd been posting on our page and giving everyone updates for it, and it was good seeing that side of it. And like, oh, this is what I'm doing. It wasn't I'm working on something secret. It was like, here's what I'm working on. I'm going to show you every little detail, and it was brilliant.
Yeah. And I think that's what caught. It was we let Sorenzo just pick whatever he wanted. It was his choice. There was no rules, no regulations to the judge's choice. He had to go out and have a look and see what was worthy. And I think it was just the way he talked about it, the way he really captured sort of the ethos behind making and building a costume and sharing the love of all that sort of stuff that really sort of picked it out there. My personal favourite, which I didn't get to pick anyway, was actually Neil McAndrew, the guy, the Red Baron photography.
Portal.
He was Portal and Half-Life mashup. So he had like the Portal lines down, LED lights down the middle of him, and half of him was like the test subject.
Played music and everything.
Yeah. He had a music pack in his back,
right?
And I think he had it wired up to the gun somehow, so he could change different songs and stuff like that depending which way he was facing for photographs and stuff like this as well. But
very, very
attention to detail.
He taught himself to sew to do this and that as well. And
Well,
Working the door was good fun for a while. Like,
yeah, just to see who was going to come through it.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
I saw some. There were some awesome cosplays I didn't expect to see. Like I say, because when we walked out and saw everybody, because I've never been to a con before, so I was like, "Wow, everyone's dressed up. This is insane! Like everyone is dressed up."
Yeah.
And there was, like I say, there were some amazing costumes. Really didn't expect to see people put that much effort into all these things.
Well, that's what I mean. It makes us think about next year as well. It's we've learnt a lot this year with what we've been doing, and we will be sort of like, now we know what
works and what doesn't
works
work,
and what doesn't
needs to be
work.
better. And
yeah.
Exactly, yeah. And I think, we'll be thinking about everything that we came across this year in an in-depth way, and seeing what we can do to improve for next year. I mean,
we have a better idea now of what people in Aberdeen want as well, in terms of what they're expecting from a convention when they come. So, I mean,
well, that's it. I mean, we've been at loads of conventions in the past, and you can go to a convention, you can see 2 or 3 folk dressed up, and then you go to the next convention, and there isn't a single person in civvies. But we know now, sort of like, we've probably got about a 50-50 split, I would say. You know,
it's a fine art figuring out what kind of convention you're planning to have, and that's where we are just now.
Yeah.
We're trying to figure that out, what kind of convention we are, and it's hard to gauge, but it's been good. Facebook's been great for us, like social media. You get the odd person that is a bit upset about the queue and all that, but you get a lot of people sending us messages on the Facebook page going, "This was good, I really enjoyed this, you can maybe do this better," and that's been good as well, and to kind of gauge how we're going to run next year.